Cutscene.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger. And that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Hooray.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why she wasn't killed. The bandits recognized her as one of their own by this signet ring.
Just to remind you, Tartuccio gave us this ring as soon as we met him. He said it would protect us. This is treachery. And just FYI, Pitax does come up in Tabletop, but not until Book 2. Pitax does not come up until Book 2 of Tabletop. So this is an early recognizing of Pitax. Clearly, Tartuccio is an agent of Pitax. Pitax is a haven for thieves and smugglers, a hub for trade in the River Kingdoms. It aspires to be a center of culture and higher learning as well, but cannot escape its more unsavory origins. So, because we have high knowledge world, we can say this, we can just know this. We already made this world check. It's not a roll we have to make after this. So I don't need to make this diplomacy. I can just say this. Tartuccio's name, his accent, his clothes, clearly he's from Pitax. Which one of us looks more like the Iroveti spy?
Probably, yes. But this evidence is circumstantial at best. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
Really? I'm under suspicion?
I bet my life the spy's anyone but this woman. I saw how she dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with her
By
through
playing
hell
music.
and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand.
Wow, colorist.
He's got the eyes of a spy. And the mug of a spy!
I can't believe she went there. Like, that is so racist. This purple crook.
Lady Aldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed her true colors. She forced us to break into the armory and rob it.
Sometimes your character has to make difficult decisions, relying on their conscience or lack thereof. So this is really cool, and this I'm really excited about in this CRPG, how they give you some important moral choices you have to make. Some dialogue options are only available to characters of certain alignment. So we are chaotic good. Wait, no, I'm sorry. We're neutral good. We're neutral good. So neither of these. This is lawful and chaotic, not neutral, and neither of these are good. So we could really do either of these, and both would be equally out of character for us, or not out of character. So which one do we want to say? Forgive me our trespass. In my defense, we were in the middle of a battle and in dire need of weapons. Or we were in the middle of battle and needed weapons. There was no time to run and ask permission. What would Halda do? Halda is a little more. I feel like this is a little more diplomatic. Yeah, I think she's going to go for the lawful neutral option.
Considering the circumstances,
we succeeded.
That was more than reasonable.
Yeah, we could have failed it. If we had rolled a 1, we would have failed it, but we didn't, fortunately. Good.
That was a sound decision. Sometimes one must act at one's own risk and peril until crossing the boundaries of what is allowed. Showing initiative is no crime.
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that.
It is insane when faced with death to stop and question whether you may be breaking some law or rule. Even more insane would be to ask forgiveness for making the right decision. Sorry, but your words display a lack of wisdom.
So Harem is clearly chaotic, and he did not like that we gave a lawful answer. So he's not going to go with us.
What about that trick she pulled right before we came in here?
Trick?
She knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, she dallied as long as she could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. She was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
Well, we are neutral good. Clearly, we're going to give this answer. People are dying right in front of me. How could I just walk by?
Trying to save
I
others
failed.
is commendable, but Tartuccio's right.
I rolled a
You
2.
need it here more.
I rolled a 2. That's awful. That's the way the dice roll.
May Shellen spare me from ever having to make such a choice, but she behaved decently, as a true leader.
A true leader is someone who has their priorities straight, not someone who would put a valuable ally's life in danger for the sake of some servant.
So unfortunately, Jythal looks like she's not going to go with this. In my evil campaign that I'm playing, I get Jythal and Valerie and Amiri to come with us. But it looks like Jythal is not joining us,
Enough squabbling.
which is too bad.
Still
Jythal
not
is
sure
evil.
which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting the whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. That way, I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen lands.
Okay. That's the way it's got to be.
Lady Aldori, most of those who were to set off for the stolen lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
Who are you
I'm
going to join?
sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Valerie. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the 2 teams would you prefer to accompany?
If my leader allows, I would join her team. She seems a worthy commander in my eyes.
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that.
Commanders, military leaders, all these laws and rules are but dust and vanity. I suppose I will accompany Tartuccio.
See, this is cool. It tells you in the hover over, I guess some of the, like a blue colored hover over tells you like this, what they're saying could have been influenced by a decision that you made. And I like that.
Our leader is good in battle, but I don't
No, I'm
like
not.
all the spiritual agonizing. I prefer those who can act without wasting time helping every little pipsqueak. Those like Tartuccio.
Okay.
Tartuccio's going to take the credit for himself and be done with it. Shellen, spare me from such allies. I'm going with you. You're a hero worthy of my quill.
All right. It's going to be a little awkward having 2 bards, but that's fine. So this tells us a little bit about Lindsay's god, Shellen, if you want to read some of that. She's a very artsy god.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this woman. As for you, Purple Toad, just wait until we meet along the way.
I'm pretty sure Amiri always
I'll be
goes
sure
with
to
you.
hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
It's possible Valerie might not go with you if you tell her not to save the soldiers. I'm not sure. But I think Valerie always goes with you. So my evil campaign, Lindsay did not go with me. Nor did Harem. I've never gotten Harem to go with me.
All right, we have 2 teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the stolen lands. Tartuccio's team will go through Navacta's crossing. The garrison commandant will provide him all the help he needs. You will take your team to Oleg Levitin's trading post.
Aha.
He's been complaining about the Stag Lord's bandits for a while now. There, you'll be provided with all the necessary travel supplies.
Signed scroll of Raised Dead. I don't remember getting that. So Oleg's is where the tabletop campaign starts. It's the abandoned border fort at the southern edge of Rossland. Oleg and Svetlana Levitin, a couple from Rostov, rebuilt it into a trading post. It is now one of the few hospitable shelters for travelers in the surrounding wilderness. And what is Navacta's Crossing? Because Tartuccio, as I said before, is not a tabletop. Navacta's Crossing is a village at the very southern edge of Rossland, protected by a wooden palisade wall surrounding it. The South Rossland Road runs through the village, as does the road leading to a newly established settlement at Varnhold. The place is home to trappers, anglers, hunters, tradesmen. The locals are a serious bunch, and very suspicious of strangers, especially those from the stolen lands. I can't imagine they'll be too hospitable to Tartuccio, although Tartuccio has very high charisma, just like we do, and is very convincing. He will be a very good adversary for us.
I'd like to believe you, but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution.
Halda is relatively forgiving. She's not always forgiving. She can be ruthless against evil when she has to be, but and like I
While
said,
you're
she's
away,
pragmatic.
Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Rostov is working for Patox. But you should know that it isn't just Pitax we need to worry about. The royal house of Sertova may also interfere in our plans. I've managed to keep this affair a secret from them so far, but that can't last long. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless.
So the Sertova is a ruling family of Brevoy, which is where we are. The oldest Brevic family, Port Ice in northern Izia on the north. I don't remember the Galarian map that well offhand. The Sertovas are careful, cunning diplomats, pirates and raiders before that. And the family has a lot of connections. Ours is the right is their motto. That's kind of like we do not sow kind of thing,
and
right?
now, farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Restov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
Thank you. I wonder if Tartuccio and Harem keep the stuff that we gave them, or if they put it in our stash. It's not like they had that much that was worth that much. And without them, our carry weight is going to be much lower, so...
Surviving a terrible night, our small team set off to brave our fate. Beware, stolen lands. Heroes are on the way.
Excellent. Map movement. So there is a world map, like a hex map in Tabletop, and I'm really excited about how this is... Like, the computerization of this is awesome. It's just awesome. The map of the stolen lands and their vicinity. To set out, click on one of the arrows. Random encounters await. You may be attacked by monsters, or you may meet new acquaintances. Okay, so here's our party. And we have Amiri now. Amiri we're going to put in the front ranks. And same with, actually, Valerie first. Halda in the back. Actually, we can have Halda be here, but let's just change our formation once we... I kind of like having Halda be the first one, because she is the leader. All right, let's go. Uh-huh. It's a bit of a ways. There's someone on the road. This is a pre-planned encounter. This one isn't actually random. I thought it was the first time. And the first time I did it, it was an encounter with wolves. And I defeated them pretty handily. It's a kind of a tutorial encounter. Apparently some people complained about the difficulty of it, and they lowered them to thylacines, which are like weaker versions of wolves. So, formation first of all. Halda in the back. Valerie up front. And we can have, Amiri right by her. Then Lindsay. Then Halda in the back. All right, Halda, I am going to use one of your Inspire Courages here. That's what you're going to do.
I'm listening.
Amiri, where's your Barbarian range? That should be on your hotbar. Oh, and we need to turn off our AI for you. I think it's fine to rage. The nice thing, so in Pathfinder, there are a lot of abilities that you, and you know, most tabletop games, there are abilities that you have and they replenish after a long rest, or like once a day you get these abilities. The cool thing about the Pathfinder Kingmaker campaign, both in tabletop and the CRPG, is that there are a lot of encounters that are just like, in this area, this is the encounter, then we're probably gonna like camp and move on to the next area, meaning all of your abilities are replenished. So you don't have to worry too much, except in certain situations that you know are going to be longer, about saving your abilities. Because I always have a tendency to save, to like, you know, save all my potions, save all my abilities, and err on the side of caution when I really don't need to. Okay, so Lindsay.
Anything is possible.
I think why don't you daze one of them? Why don't you daze this one over to the right?
Way to use this spell?
And Valerie,
I am your shield.
attack this one in the middle.
Strike is won. Done with
And Amiri, you're gonna help.
Tear them apart!
Okay. Yeah, so we set our... Unfortunately, we set our formation after we landed here. How's the initiative? Thylacine's a bad initiative. Unfortunately, Lindsay... Oh, Halda's initiative is rolled a 1. Not great, but that's okay. These guys, our melee fighters, did get in the front lines fast enough. Lindsay, what are you doing? Daze, please.
May I suggest another way to use this spell?
Oh, I can't daze them. Why? Because they're not humanoids. Daze only works on humanoid creatures. I forgot that. Okay, then. Attack.
Serves you right.
Ooh, we got critically hit. Fortunately, Amiri has a lot of hit points because she has a high constitution. We haven't actually looked at Amiri yet. Yeah, +3 con, +3 strength, and she has a special bastard sword, a ginormous sword, which I believe somewhere in her story she talks about it. She got it from she found it, I think, from a battle. She won't from a battle from a frost giant or something like that. It does a ton of damage, 2d8 +1. So that's pretty awesome. That she comes with that amazing sword. She is a barbarian, and barbarians rage. Raging, if you don't know, it adds it adds strength bonus, but it removes armor class bonus. It gives you an armor class penalty, and you get some temporary hit points when you do it. She has a lot of proficiencies, including for exotic weapons, which is great, because I'm pretty sure this bastard sword is an exotic weapon. Yes. And you specifically have proficiency in that weapon. Cool. And you get fast movement, so you have 30 movement speed. Oh, but you must have your inventory must be. No, it is light. You would think that would give because you're a human, right? Shouldn't you have 40 movement then? I don't know. Barbarians can only use natural armor like hide armor, or they can't use metal armor. Okay. We could use some scrolls. I have a tendency to not use scrolls, and I underuse potions as well. But this encounter should be pretty easy. I might want to heal Amiri, but even with that critical hit, she was fine, so I think we're going to be okay here. Ah, all right, so Halda just performed, and she will continue doing that. And then, why don't you can't daze, but you could dazzle, right? Isn't that a thing? Flare. Yeah, this will dazzle a creature. Let's do it. Dazzle that one. Oh, it did save. Oh, but that one died. I thought I told him to attack the middle one. Whatever.
Falter.
Why don't you keep doing that? Flare. They will keep attacking the same target if you don't give them something else to do. All right, Flare, work that time. Yeah, just attack.
As one.
You could attack. You have a +1. It's not the worst. Oh, whoops. Attack, please. Boom. Beautiful. So, oh, stop raging. Probably could turn that off. Okay. So, dropping out of initiative here. So this is something that's cool. If we look at their loot, they don't have anything on them, but we have the option to skin them. And I believe if everyone is selected, it will skin with the person that has the highest lore nature check. Yeah, who is Amiri. Amiri has the highest skill with a +5. But she didn't roll that great. We only got one skin. But better than nothing. And that's just some loot that we can sell.
Let us press on.
We could search around, see if we could find anything in this random encounter. I don't know if random encounters ever have stuff you can find. And I think we're moving a little slow because we're at medium party encumbrance. If we ever finally get 6 people, obviously it'll be a lot easier to have a higher party encumbrance, especially if any of them have high strength. I'm pretty sure there's nothing around here. Yeah, all these maps have little, like, flora and fauna that just hop around. You can't really interact with them, but it is cool. I mean, if you move near them, they'll run away. Oh, look at that little bunny. Look at that little bun. Cute. Oh, and you're fatigued. That's right. After a barbarian rage, barbarians get fatigued. So we might want to rest here, but we are close to Oleg's camp, and we can also rest there. In theory. Oh, you're not fatigued anymore. Right, the fatigue only lasts for a while. I forgot how barbarian rage worked. It's not like fatigue from being sleepy. From, like, not getting enough sleep. And here's Valerie. They really want you to acknowledge that Valerie is beautiful, it seems like, from all the descriptions. I think this should be uneventful until we get to Oleg's. And there it is. In the morning. The Fey Lords of the First World are called the Eldest. Godlike powers, inhuman logic, and immense ambition. All right. So here we are at Oleg's trading post.
Let us press on.
Okay, nothing back there. Let's do a little searching around here. This is as far back as I can zoom. Although, there is the map. It does, you know, you can kind of move stuff around on the map. Who is that? Who are you? I can't actually talk to you. I hear people talking. Maybe I should be moving into the... Oh, they're not actually speaking words. Those are just, like, gibberish. Okay, they are moving in formation, in the formation we told them. What's going on in here? In the name of the Stag Lord, the, lawful authority in the Stolen Lands, we demand this week's tax and some beer. That's what the bandit says. And where's that pretty wife of yours, Oleg? She should serve us dinner. Oh. Kressel, quiet down, dimwit. Oleg, we're just here for the Stag Lord's tax. Hand over the money, and we'll be on our way. Kressel. That's Kressel. You can see she's wielding 2 hand axes. Alignment and dialogues. Dialogue features special options that are available to only characters with certain alignments. Oleg says, you want to drink some of my blood too? I'm sick of you. You're like locusts. You think you control everything around here just because you put up that painted rag of yours? You come here, squeeze us dry, and come... you must be guests from Restov, when he notices us. What's going on here? I'm not interested in bloodshed, but I won't let you rob this man. Be on your way and I'll let you go in peace. I think we would say this. Not only is this exactly what our alignment is, that is just what Halda would say. The woman smiles coldly. All right, we'll leave. But what makes you think we won't just return with greater numbers? Why would we leave when we've got easy pickings from Restov before us? We'll rip your guts out and empty your pockets. Oh,